Hello everyone, hello. Right, as you can see I have my glorious little progression chart here. It's this day one because I practiced a little bit this morning just to see how it would go. And I think it went okay. I'm still learning like some time saving stuff. And also like I've only ever done the first level like this, and the first level is also a tutorial level. So there's that. Right, okay, we'll see how this goes. Limber up, guys. We'll limber up. Right. There's no official rules for this. So I'm just gonna start a timer at this point. So 3, 2, 1. And okay, so we just boom. Skip past the cutscenes as much as possible. Skip. Okay, so mash X. So the first level is purely tutorial. So a lot of this is just making sure I skip past the tutorials correctly. Which that would be like the biggest. Oh. Time save. Oh. There we go.
Okay.
I might not be as chatty this stream. You know, because I'm in the zone. I'm in the focus zone. Okay, so that should be. Oh. Change formation. What are your options, Froggenry? Or how many of you are there? We're having like one of those like fin steak things that you fry.
We've won here. It's ours, brother.
There's also a CD. Oh,
Give me.
skip these. You will have.
I knew they could do it.
Oh, skip that.
Look, some fresh. Zhang Fei has.
Right, okay, let's see. Oh.
Yubei, look.
There's so many like little bits here to try and skip. Like later levels aren't as like skippy because there's less tutorials. This is related to Dynasty Warriors. So it uses the same characters. Okay, but now I can read the future. Now we're at a point where I can put the controller in. This is like, oh, I apologize. This is a very overly. I mean, like Dynasty Warriors was already like heavily dramatized, right? This is also like even more dramatized than that. You got the chariot card. Let's see. What have you got? Crave, toasties, spaghetti, pizza. I guess that kind of looks a. Okay, there's straight lines like spaghetti. So there you go. So yeah, a lot of the stream is just going to be me. Like I played through the first level for the most part. And you just sit in a weird tent, dress up and read my future. I can do that. I can maybe do that. I should have to like just some straight up fortune telling streams. I absolutely love the jewels in this.
Show what you're made of.
One of the things I'm quite sad about the idea of trying to speedrun this is I'm not going to be able to show you guys
You choose to fight, then you
just how great this game is. Like, this game is just peak melodrama. Like, no one can act, it's great. Also, everyone's like just fashion choices amaze me in this game.
I had too much to drink. Did you expect me to really lose to the likes of you?
I think going forward, I think I can skip them. I think it just doesn't let me skip them because this is a tutorial. The same reason it has my characters like teleport. Okay, so now we just need to engage Xihao Yuan. And then like pretty much like the rest of the game just plays itself.
They just don't.
It feels so weird as well, because normally, right, I'm used to playing this game on expert, so I just play like every level on
These
expert.
little guys.
Oh. So I know like, although yeah, all my knowledge of this game is very much cemented in like the expert difficulty and like all the reinforcements that come in based on expert.
You bet.
And also like I haven't done this like tutorial level in so long. Because I usually just play as an expert, so there's no tutorials in expert, and it's also like hard. So the world record for this game, so the official world record I believe was something like 4 hours 15. There was a time like at 3 hours 50, but so it looks like there's one mod on the speedrunning website, and he originally had like the best time, and then someone submitted like a better time in January. He looked at it and then went, I've looked at it, but I'm not confirming it. So that's great. But also I think maybe his was played like on an original PlayStation 2. Mine's is played on the emulator, but I've got the settings set to like as close to like PlayStation 2 as possible. Like I've even like changed the graphics back down to, rather than having them at HD, I've now got them back at PlayStation 2 level graphics. Which is a shame, because this game actually, when you upscale it, looks pretty good. It's amazing like how many PlayStation 2 games can actually be upscaled and be like decent. Look at them doing the hoagie. We got, see, when I was like a young boy, like these magic dances were just like the best thing for me. I adored them.
Oh, the.
Yeah, so I guess there's just like a draw distance, right? I mean, one of the big things about this game, one of the drawers in the back of the box was something like, oh, now with like over 100 more visible units at once. It's something like that. So I feel like, you know, they put a lot of effort into having all these guys here. Welcome along, Baked Beans, welcome along. We're still on the tutorial level just now. So yeah, I think they just like there's a draw distance, and they were just like, just make it look like it's really foggy. It's a really foggy China that we're in right now. Oh, that does sound like fun. I hope it was a good swear. I had like someone go full Karen on me yesterday because I asked her not to stand on the exit line at the shop. I was like, this is the pathway that people walk when they are exiting the shop. Can you please not stand there? She's like, I'd understand being spoken to if I'd done something wrong. And it's like, but you have done something wrong. That's the exit. You don't just stand in someone's exit. Girl, move.
Move it or I'll end your miserable life.
That's what I should have said to her. Move it or I'll end your miserable life. I'm also just like cutting through my own men at this point.
Take a lot more than that to stop Xiao Yun.
Honestly, Zhao Yun's just the best. I see, annoyingly, like, I have to skip over the cutscenes because the cutscenes in this game are just so good. It was an oh fuck off as she was. Oh. I had to enjoy the game now. That's the last of the tutorials. When she was shouting, I said to the busy shop, everyone don't panic, stay calm, the customer is leaving right now so we can get that piece. Oh, she's not gonna be happy with that. So like, one of the things you can do, right, is you can cut the enemy in the back, like, but I just end up cutting my own guys all the time. I don't actually know if like that does anything, and there's like no in-depth guides to this game anywhere. Like, I'm playing some obscure strategy game from 2002, or maybe 2004, somewhere around there anyway. So there's no like proper in-depth guides. So like, yeah, I can sit and like stab these people. Does it actually do anything? I don't know, but you know, it passes the time, I guess. Okay, well, we've almost won this. I'm not quite sure where I should make the splits. I think I watched a bit of the guy who speedrun it, who got the best time, and I think he sort of cut it like at the end of the fight, which I guess kind of makes sense. So like
The enemy general is
here.
brother.
I've also just realised I made a bunch of notes
By the way,
and I don't know where I've put them. Ah well, never mind. Who needs notes, right? Yeah, no, I had like a bunch of notes up on my computer and they've just disappeared. It's this one.
I agree.
I am very ill prepared towards this. Oh.
I've met
But you know what, like I said, first time trying to do something like this. Yeah, I can make a few accidents. Okay, right. No. Liu Bei will head to here. Zhao Yun. Scottish and Irish is so strong. We do that. We team up. See, now we seem to have like someone Welsh and someone English going, and we can have like a United Kingdom stream. Okay, right. Sorted. Like, it'd be like by our powers combined. Okay, right. While everyone's moving, I'm going to get my notes back up. Does anyone else actually use like the sticky notes app? And there we go. Boom. Oh wait, hold on. We have changed scene. There we go. I just use notes. No, I quite like the aesthetic of sticky notes. I like the idea of like sticking sticky notes to things anyway. So being able to do it like on a computer. Okay, right, we've detected Yuijin. Right, so a trick with this is if you engage people on a bridge while they're crossing, like the game will have you like fight them like at one side of the bridge. Oh, no, actually, I'll just spin round. There we go. It'll have you like fight on one side and them on the other. But if you wait for them to cross, you can catch them at the edge of the bridge. Yeah, you can catch them at the edge of the bridge just as they came across. So you'll battle them there, but it means the enemy will be unable to cross the bridge, and so they'll be stuck there. So like all of his reinforcements are now stuck behind this bridge, unable to come down. Poor guy. Sometimes you gotta copy and paste to be able to get these things done. Okay, and then we'll swap to Guan Yu. I'll just manually control you, Guan Yu. Because like I could have kept them like down at the bottom, but in doing so, like, oh, actually, that other guy's gonna cross the bridge by the looks of it. Damn. Guan Mi. Right, okay, well that's fine. I feel like he'll probably get stuck there for a little bit anyway. So we'll have Guan Yu engage Yui Jin, and then like because the two of them will be engaging Yui Jin, like that will deplete Yui Jin's unit a lot faster. You can have up to 4 of your characters engaging one enemy. Obviously, the more you have, the quicker they get depleted, and down they go. Okay, so we'll just keep an eye on the map down there to see who... I can't remember who that is. I also love the soundtrack in this. Okay, here we go. We've got an enemy coming here. So the goal of this level is to defeat the enemy general Jun Yu. So as soon as we find her, we just need to charge her. Jun Yu was also originally a man, and because Dynasty Warriors is based off a book. And that character was originally a man, but in this version they made her a woman so they could have some like love triangles going on. No. Let's Lydian, and then Liu Bei, you also attack Lydian. See, Lydian's like, oh, if I attack Liu Bei, then they'll win. Sunshine. None of that. I really wish you guys could see the cutscenes for this. There's part of me that's regretting speedrunning it, and I'm like, I should have just straight up played it. So there's a few levels that I'm... Oh my god, what is he doing?
Lord Liu Bei, my name is Shao Kahn. My men.
My men and I have come to aid you in this battle. Like, I used to be a point where I'm not gonna get the world record if I keep pausing it.
We've won here.
It's ours. Oh, I keep forgetting to skip these. See, that's gonna be the problem, is I keep forgetting to skip these things. Right, hold on. Okay. Right, well, you know what, Zhao Yun, you're wasting time. Who's that? Oh my god, that's Junyu. Okay. We just win.
Let me show them.
I mean, this game doesn't have much of what you could call a plot anyway, but it is glorious as a game. Now, I doubt Guan Yu has any abilities. No, he has Jewel. Okay, well, you're not going to be able to do much. Okay, that's fine. There's part of me that's like, this will slow us down a little bit because of the animation, and I can't skip spells too much. So do I use them too much? However, like, you need to use the magic to level it up to make it stronger, and I'll need to have like strong attacks to be able to win fast. So that seems fair to me. Here's the best video game plot: Mario Strikers Charged. I only say that because one time I managed to become #1 player. Well, you know what? That's sounds like the best plot to me. Oh. Guan Yu got injured there by the sounds of it. Yeah. Junyu's a tough one because she's a mage. So, when an enemy uses, like, well, when anyone uses a special move, it confuses like the target. So if an enemy uses a special move on me, we get confused, and then you're meant to like mash the X button to like unconfuse. But I never really like quite understand like how much you need to mash it. It always feels entirely random sometimes. But yeah, so with like 3 of our units on the enemy commander, we've won this quite quickly. It's gonna feel so weird because, like I said, I'm used to playing this on expert. So in expert mode as well, this level's a bit different because the enemy blows up the bridge up here, so they all come down the mountain path. So they're not like ever split up at all. You also get like a lot more like enemy reinforcements that just spawn in random places. So, but yeah, like I usually play this game like once a year, so there's like a large part that I know inside out. So I played for hours on end. The way it worked was you'd play someone, and if they were higher ranked than you, you would beat them. You swapped rank with them, and I was 7th in the world, and I played #1 in the world, and I beat him like 5-2. That's my claim to fame. I'll end the fact I'm in a hold on. You can't just say that's your claim to fame and then low-key drop a Charlotte Church music video on us.
Justice.
I'm not even gonna bother going back to like Liu Bei and Zhao Yun, having them fight whoever's down there, because we've almost beat Junyu. Yeah, Charlotte Church asked me and my friend to dance in her video, and I agreed to it, not realising who it was. That's amazing!
The enemy general.
Also, the person who did get the fastest time saved the game. So I feel like I can probably save some time by not saving.
So, I agree.
Okay, so that's good.
I've made
I went through like one thing on game FAQs, and a person listed a bunch of stuff on it. So I made a note of that and the ones that I wanted to pick. So Okay, usually, in this level, Zhuge Liang, like, at least on expert, Zhuge Liang struggles a little bit.
The enemy of Jia Hao Yuan will be destroyed.
Okay, well, Zhang Fei's not escaping like I wanted him to. So let's go up to Zhang Fei. I think this one we need to beat everyone. Oh, it is dangerous, but then if you think about it, right, like, if I get a game over, like, I can't get a world record in speedrunning of a game over anyway, right? So, what's the point in saving? I also love it, like, when my other troops push you and they will get, like, out of sync, and they're just like, oh, no, and they have to, like, side shuffle. I love this game. Like, I play this game at least once a year. I honestly can't remember how you win this. I can't remember. No, I think it is. I think you have to defeat everyone. Okay, so Luo recovers her volley really fast, so we just need to remember that and pop back to her every now and again. And we should be okay for this guy. We're like a little outmatched strength-wise, but Zhang Fei at least got the bonus of defeating 2 enemies in the previous one, which will have leveled them up a little bit. That's like another slight problem I have with the game, is like how your characters level up is very vague. So yeah, this one gave you 3 options, and you could put like a trap in each path, and an enemy would come in. So I picked Jia Hao Dun because Jia Hao Dun's the strongest of the enemies that come through, so I figured weakening him makes the most sense. Okay, let's swap to Guan Yu, see if Guan Yu has any abilities. I don't think he's learned anything yet, has he? No, he's not. Okay, none of them have any abilities because they're lame. No. You attack Xie Hao Dun. Zhao Yun. What we just need to do is... Right, before... Oh, damn it. I was going to say, before Liu Bei gets there, I'll use Raid, but Liu Bei was a bit too quick. Who's he got? Mei San Yang's... Meteor Rain's not going to do much here anyway. Let's jump back to Jia Hao Yun. Jia Hao Yun? Yeah, Jia. I know what I meant. So we just want to beat this guy as quickly as possible. And then Zhao Yun and Liu Bei can head out and just help everyone else win. I'm not doing that. Not doing that. Like, that's mean. I will refund you your points. It's mean. I mean, could I play this game blindfolded? Possibly. Like, this was the kind of game that, see, when I was younger, I would complete it, and then as soon as I complete it, I just play it again. If I knew how to, like, turn them off, I mean, I guess I could just remove them, but I'm pretty sure you can refund channel points, right? Surely you can. I'll look into that later. We're trying to go fast like Sonic here. Oh, speaking of going fast. Where is... Here we go, Zhuge Liang. So, when I get my capture card, I'm like this close to playing Sonic Forces on stream, and create, because that's one of the ones where you can create like your own Sonic OC, and just creating like the most ridiculous Sonic OC. Like I got Sonic Forces for free when I bought the Switch like off of someone that I work with. I can't skip this. So I played it like once because when I first got the Switch, that was the only game I had. So I played like a little bit of Sonic Forces. Yes, so I applied for. I mean, I can just say it. Everyone knows I work at Argos. I applied for an Argos store card, and just set all those guys on fire. And I've been successful, so that means I'll be able to get a capture card. Probably within the next 2 weeks, I'll have one. And I have Sonic Forces, so very tempted to play that. I also have Cadence of Hyrule, which I'm planning to play that on stream. So there's like a lot of games that I'll have like avenues open to me. There's a lot of games that I don't have, like I've played Crypt of the Necrodancer, because I got that after they announced Cadence, and I was like, oh, this could be really fun. Necrodancer went down to like £3. I was like, yeah, okay, no, I'm getting that because it's £3. Also, I love that like the wizard characters in this just fly around and like blow air at people. Okay, where's Shangfei? So Lulu is probably... Yep, she's got volley back. But yeah, so like stuff like... I don't have Mario Kart, because I had it on the Wii U. So... I don't have Breath of the Wild or Mario Odyssey, because I borrowed them from my brother, played them and then gave them back. So... Your eyes on the mic, we'll call Zhao Yun. I was close. I slightly misremembered the quote.
Too bad. Such courage. I'll be sad to see you die.
So duels are a little bit lengthy, but they also do like a ton of damage. So I feel like they'd probably be worth it. I should probably time how long a duel is actually.
Slight lose. A blunder. The sword of justice is always right.
I was hoping you could maybe skip some of that, but I guess not. So Zhao Yun's like a little bit overpowered because, spoilers, he leaves because he gets all sulky, and he leaves after this chapter for a bit. And then he comes back like much later on. Yeah, that's him being like, oh, time for me to go, I guess. Okay, what's next? Cool. So yeah, like I said, when I was texting baked beans last night. Like I said to him that this was like the lazy man speedrun. Because, I mean, a lot of like the menuing, the skipping, you have to like be prepared for that. But there's like a good part of it where you can just not do any of that, right? So these guys are probably fine, but just to be on the safe side. So every unit has like a type of movement. Say every unit. So, like if you see like the yellow dots moving on the map, for every one bit that like green, sorry, for every one bit that an infantry unit moves, a cavalry unit can move too. Actually, you know what? Zhang Fei's almost won this. So when you see like their ability flickering like that, that is that ability starting to regenerate and come back. Weirdly, I don't know if it's a glitch or not. When an ability is doing that, if you use another ability, then it nullifies that regeneration, which is really annoying. Nope, nope. I'm sure he's going to go down the net anyway, but...
Hold on.
Okay, I need to make a note here. In battle, have you... So if I had Zhuge Guan Yu pull back a little bit, I could have just had
There's no
Zhao Yun and Liu Bei just move straight up rather than having to come up and round, which would have sped up the fight a little bit. Because Zhang Fei can deal with Cal Ren on his own.
the enemy's unit's been.
Cool. That is good to know. We've already found our first time save.
Why did you run and break form?
See, that's what I mean. Like, I just hit save. Oh, damn it. No! I've ruined it. Okay, so the first thing we want to do here is intercept supplies, which is the first option.
I agree. All right.
Cool. So this level is probably... On expert, this is one of the hardest levels. Because this level involves you just entirely having to run away. I don't know if we can see them because of the draw distance. So, yeah, there's like a big, massive number of enemies behind me. Yeah, Zhang Fei, you guard the bridge. And... Guan Yu, you come stand here. So the starting positions of these guys are terrible, by the way, because both Zhang Fei and Guan Yu can easily become surrounded at this point from the enemy. But by having Zhang Fei cross the bridge, you're sorted. Enemy can't reach him, so you can only fight one person at a time, rather than being completely surrounded and dying. And then same with Guan Yu, if you move him into the mountains, only one enemy can reach him at a time, which allows him to stall the enemy, and you have to worry about Liu Bei getting caught up with. Because there's quite a few enemy units that are on horses. Liu Bei is entirely foot units, so they move at double the speed that he does, so you need to try and stall them as best as possible. Okay, so now that we're in the mountains, we'll just turn around here. Good. Sorted. And then we'll swap to Zhang Fei, who's crossing the bridge now. Okay, he's crossed the bridge, so now that he's done that,
I will not.
damn, I think that might be a surprise attack, because we hadn't spun round. That was a surprise attack, damn. So you have to head off, I'm afraid. No, that's quite alright. Thanks for popping along for so long. Like, this isn't one that I can, like I said, I can chat as much with, right? So, and you know what, like, I am very content to just sit and play this game, like, in silence. Okay, he's got an ability. Oh, I can't, wait, hold on. Can I use it now? I can use it now, perfect.
I'm the one in your nightmare. Oh, come on. What's the matter? You're no fun.
Oh, a slight trick as well is enemy archers. Oh, someone's hit. Yes, Jihadin's hitting the mines. Enemy archers are out here all being like, ah, we're shooting arrows. But if you charge them like that, it forces them into battle. Let's just kick the mother down.
Now then, let's go.
Impertinent fool.
Oh, shit, I was meant to skip that. So Lily's fight is the hardest one here probably because she's just not like a good unit on her own. Not much she can really do. So we'll just like leave her to her own devices. By putting the mines there though, at least weakens Jihadin a little bit and blocks off the woods, so they're totally fine. So you got charge. I'll wait for them to get unconfused. There we go. Actually. There we go. That charge should do a good chunk of damage. Oh yeah, that did a massive chunk of damage. Excuse me. Okay, well while everyone is dealing with their fights, we'll just... I wonder if in easy you could win this by defeating everyone. Oh. I mean, like, probably not, right? Like,
Is there anyone here who dares to fight me?
well, thank you, Baked Beans, though, for spending your lunch with me. And I will do my best to impress the whole community by holding a world record. Oh no, I lost! Guan Yu, what are you doing with your life?
Okay then, but I'm not done for yet.
Welcome along, Star Charlie, how's it going? She just dealt me a bad blow. Damn. Right, let's just cut some bitches. So I've been looking at. About to start work in 30 minutes. I am going to aim for a world record. The world record is like 4-ish hours. I've never tried this before though, but I've played this game like a lot. So I'm confident I can get close to it on my first time at least. But no, thanks. I will appreciate the hype and I hope work goes well for you. See, originally, like last week, I'd started doing like a Pokemon game, and I was like, oh, maybe I could try speedrunning a Pokemon game. And it was all like, set your DS's clock to the 14th of November 2083 to get the best stats on your Pokemon when you begin, and then make sure you start push a like at this frame. And I was like, this is too much RNG right here. Like this is, I can't be bothered trying to learn all this. I was like, I'd much rather go for like a game like, well, I mean, this game doesn't have any like speedrunning guides. This is like a very niche game. But I mean, it also means that if I do get the world record, very unlikely anyone's ever going to dethrone me. So, you know, there's that. And then I can just be the king forever. You know what? I appreciate the hype. Right. Okay, well, Guan Yu is not going to do well here, but he doesn't have to do well. Like, we just need to survive. That's all we need to do. Don't hold position. You engage. So, the goal of this level is to get to that spot there. But there is an enemy who is hiding there, which is problematic. But with two of us and only one of them, like, we should be okay. Like, the only thing that could ever cause a problem right now is the fact that Guan Yu took quite a few hits against Huji. Is there no other enemy that comes this way? Oh, I guess not. Okay, well, you cross the bridge now then. Oh, where's Mei San Yang? Here we go. Mei San Yang. I think Mei San Yang was officially like my first waifu in video games. Okay, yeah, she's gotten stuck behind Liu Bei. No, just... There we go. So I think one of the things I'm going to have to get a lot better at is going to be the menuing. Okay, well, I'll leave them to that. Okay, we'll jump back over to Mei Sang Yang. Because I just need to get her into position and then move her down. Yeah, see, Guan Yu's starting to fade. He's not gonna last. Okay, I'll just manually take control here. There we go. I feel like that guy, that red one there, is coming over to get me. And I can't tell if he is or not. I feel like he's charging at me, and it's kind of scary. Oh my god, there's a whole bunch of them charging at me. Oh no. Oh, maybe these, because they know Guan Yu's going down, maybe the AI's like, oh, this will be the fastest way down. Oh yeah, this game was very much like, compared to something like Dynasty Warriors, like, which is also based off the same sort of like, I guess, lore. Who is that? Just here. Oh, it's Cao Cao, right? This game is very much in the mindset of, no, like, women are just as powerful, and it even like gender swapped some of the characters from like the original lore and turned a bunch of them into women. I think that's probably one of the things I always loved about it as a kid as well. Like, there is more men, like, male characters than there is female, but like none of the female characters are ever depicted as being like weak. Even like one of the main big plot points for it is Liu Bei's trying to rescue his girlfriend Diao Chan, who's being kidnapped because the emperor entrusted her with like a secret on how to become the next emperor. But even she, like, even though she's like held prisoner and she's just like a dancer, she's never depicted as being like weak or anything like that. Like, she's always like holds her own and like still argues with her captors and stuff, even when they start slapping her around. Okay, so Zhang Fei's just kind of got himself a little bit surrounded. And Hugh Xi is starting to charge us down that mountain. Yeah, no, they still, like, yeah, she's held captive and she's all like, oh, save me, Liu Bei. But she's still, like, you know, very much like a... She'll still, like, insult people and still, like, be like, no, I'm not gonna give in just because, like, I'm held captive. Right, it's very... It is. It is very rare. But it's refreshing as well. I always find that, see, when I end up watching, like, old TV programs or movies, and they've managed to, like, completely skip over that whole, like, massive amount of sexism that they had back then. Like, like, even if it's just, like, a small thing that they do, there's still part of me that's like, this has my respect. I still wish I knew if, like, hitting these people would actually do some damage. Like, I don't know if it's just purely for show or if it's... Okay, like she has taken part in that fight. That's fine. Let's see if we can do a little bit more damage. The next level is going to be the one that I think makes or breaks this. So the next level is like a sea battle where everyone's on boats rather than land. And normally when I'm playing on expert, my strategy is I hide everyone in the corner and then like just pick the enemy off one at a time. But I have a feeling that like if I were to do that, that's not like a fast playstyle. So I don't really know if that's the best to go for a speedrun. Probably not. I mean, I think we should finish this. I'm hoping we finish this before an hour. Like this level. And then if so, how many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we've got 7 levels after that. We did 4 in an hour. So if we assume they're all like about an hour, right? Like every 4. That would be under 3 hours. Which would be an hour faster. So obviously the later levels are going to be a bit longer, but okay, let's okay, everyone else isn't doing too great up there, but we've almost won. Because as soon as Leo Bay gets to the bottom, I've no idea what's going on there.
We've eluded the enemy. We should...
There we go. Okay, yeah, sure not chibi. So the first one that comes up should be recruit Kai Mao, which is what I do. The guy gets us a new unit.
Yes.
And then there's only one plan, so that's fine.
Lords.
Okay, this is on easy. So we don't have a lot of units though. Oh wait, here we go. Kai Mao Fleet. Okay, we've got 6. I'm gonna make the decision here to charge rather than hide. So boat fights are a bit different compared to land fights. So in a boat fight, only one unit can engage another unit. But if you have like a second unit surround like an enemy unit, like it confuses them and does massive damage to their morale. Morale's hit points in this game. So this is still beginner. I might be fine. We also get like a bunch of like on loan units here that only ever appear like as party members. Okay, they're getting to that bit and then stopping. Oh. I just need to see where my enemies at. Like ultimately we still have to wait anyway. So the plan for this is a fire attack, and the fire attack happens at 1/3 of the level's playtime. So we still need to wait for the fire attack, and the fire attack like massively destroys the enemy. But obviously the more damage I do before the fire attack, the stronger the fire attack is. Okay, I'm starting to see enemies popping down now. Hey Misto, how's it going? Hope things are going well. This is potentially the level that's going to destroy my run, but we're going to see. I'm pretty good. Pretty good. I've had a decent day. I started a little bit later than I had intended to, but I'm also making good time. So that helps. God, there's like a bunch of them over there. That's problematic. This is definitely going to be a research level where we need to figure out exactly what we're going to do. I need to see what my enemy's layout is. So next time I do this, like, I know what I'm doing. Maybe if I... Like, there's some aspect to it that comes across a bit like that, but, yeah, no, for the most part, it is like a strategy game like this. I wonder if having everyone move to the side is the best. Yeah, because he's just going to get completely surrounded and destroyed. Okay, yeah. Even though the animations are quite long, we definitely want to spam some spells here, I think. Like, the quicker we take this guy down, the better. That did absolutely nothing. Do you have raid? Perfect. That way.
I am Hashi Chi. Prepare yourself.
Right, like it's one of the things, like sometimes I always feel like, oh, maybe I could do like a magic
I suggest
only like Final Fantasy run, and I'm like, those animations are so long. Okay, well there's Cow though, so okay, like our main focus is gonna have to be on trying to take this guy down.
I am the Lion of Jiangnan. Take way.
I know that's like the thing is that like I was hoping the magic in this would be skippable because like I know some of the animations are, but magic unfortunately is not skippable.
Leave with your tail between your legs.
Yeah, see, Zhou Yu is just going to get completely obliterated here. Hold on. Oh, okay, no, I was going to say, like, maybe I could have someone else, but no, Kai Mao will just get destroyed as well. Okay, Guan Yu, let's jump to you. Let's see how you can do. You probably can't charge on a boat, can you? No. Where's Zhang Fei, though? Oh, perfect, Sun Li's here. Waifu number 2. Okay, let's just raid through all these guys.
What's the matter? You're no fun!
Okay, that's dealt some heavy damage to them. Kaimao's not going to do great. Sun Quan, there we go. I'm on Sun Quan. So the world record time is about 4 hours 20, like the official one. There is like a time a bit faster on emulator, which I'm using, which was like 3 hours 50, I believe. So I want to try and aim for that. But this is also my first time attempting it, so I'm also like not going to be like, oh, well, I didn't get it, like I suck. So but I mean, like I've done like a full playthrough, all cutscenes included on like my YouTube channel. And like that was on expert mode, and like each level was like about an hour long with like cutscenes. Where's Lusu? What can you do? You can also throw fireballs. Please, you also throw fireballs. So yeah, I mean there was like a level earlier where I've made some notes because I'm like, okay, I could speed that level up a little bit, save some time. This level could do a lot of fine tuning, I think. Like I might play through it again quickly at some point and make like a separate save like just before this level and do this level a few times. Hit you with some lightning. Just so I can try and figure out the best way to do it. Fast. Because the big problem with this one is just because it's like boats, like this is a very different level style compared to all the other levels in the game. So and because of that, like it makes it a bit harder to just rally. Okay, we'll leave rally now until we need it. Okay, let's... Kaimao can't do anything. Oh, Sun Quan. So yeah, this one's just tough trying to figure out the best way to do it quickly. The main thing with this one is just to wait for the fire attack to happen. Once the fire attack happens, then we win. But, like, you've just got to survive until then. So yeah, normally like my expert, when I'm playing on expert mode, the strategy I normally use is I have everyone move down to the bottom right. That takes like the enemy like the longest to get to us. And then like we can like that, you know, makes the fire attack happen a bit quicker. But like all the fire attack does is deal massive damage to all the enemies, which is probably fine, but I feel like there's a quicker way of doing it. Like in expert, obviously all the enemies are stronger and there's also more of them. This is on beginner, so there was part of me that was like, I could probably just charge and win, which I am, but also at the same time, there must be better ways of doing it. Especially because poor Zhou Yu is just completely getting surrounded right now. There's also like a lot of on-loan units in this level. Like all the blue ones are like another faction that appear in this one and appear as enemies a bit later. So they at least help because they're quite strong. Okay, there's not much more I can really do there. What about... Oh, lordy Ganning, you're not doing great. Not much you can do. Lose you, what can you do? You can at least drop some ice on someone. I mean, that doesn't just destroy the boat straight up. Who knows? These are very sturdy craftsmen they've got here. So yeah, Ganning is not doing great right now. Oh, is he... No, he's not surrounded or anything like that. Okay, good. Sun Li is here now. Oh lord. Okay, he's almost down. Doesn't someone have... So, losing a character just means, like, you know, they're gone for the level. But it just does put me at a bit of a disadvantage, because if I lose someone, like, obviously they're going to get... My other units will start getting more overwhelmed. Let's have you withdraw from battle, and then we can try and get Sun Li to fight this guy. Okay, where's everyone else then? Annoyingly, with boats, there's like a lot of abilities you can't use on a boat. Like, one of Guan Yu's abilities is charge, where like he charges the enemy, but I can't use that on a boat. But I believe that was the fire attack. That was the fire attack. Perfect. There we go. Yes, so the fire attack has helped a lot, and it's dealt with most of the enemies. And now we'll just charge the enemy commander to win. Yeah, so the way you win each level is just to defeat the enemy commander, which usually is Cao Cao. But yeah, like Luo there, her ability is volley, where all her archers shoot a volley of arrows, but she can't do that on a boat. So, like, she's no good to me. Oh, what's going on over here? Yeah, you can use fire magic, but not arrows. Oh, that's another thing I keep doing with Speedrun, is I keep forgetting to skip like those scenes. Right. And we'll just engage Shuji here. We'll just have a nice relaxing sail. Yeah, Kai Mao's not doing great. So Kai Mao's like supposedly meant to be like an enemy unit who we've been like, no, Kai Mao, join us. But I think we've just won. We have just won. Okay, so you know, that wasn't actually as long as I thought it was going to be. That was surprisingly quite fast, actually. Okay, what am I wanting to do here? Chengdu train.
I agree.
I feel like I'm making far like too good time. Like I don't understand. But then, like I said, the speedrun that I saw wasn't skipping cutscenes as quickly as I am, and it was Fargate I wanted, wasn't it? Yeah, Fargate. Yeah, it wasn't like skipping cutscenes as quickly, and also was saving. So I've saved like a few seconds each level by saving. Um. So supposedly this gives really good enemy positioning, which is what I want. So, well, no, exactly, yeah. Like someone, like I said earlier, I wasn't going to save, and someone was like, "That's pretty dangerous, Liam." I'm like, "Is it?" Because if I get a game over, like my speedrun is over anyway. I contemplated trying to do like a speedrun of Fire Emblem, but there was so much like RNG manipulation required for that. I was like, there's not a lot of RNG manipulate. You can manipulate the RNG in this. Like, because I chose to train my units right, and their stats increased. The stats that increase when you train is random when you pick. So, yeah, the RNG, yeah, no, it really can. And like, I watched like some of the speedrun 4-7, and there was a lot of like moving the cursor a certain way to manipulate the RNG to what you want. So you could be like, oh, that means I know that I'll get hit so many times and so many misses, and I'm like, that seems like a lot to remember. Whereas this there's a little bit to remember, and I've got like a list of notes here, but it's not too bad. Oh, it really is. There was the same thing with like I looked at a Pokemon speedrun, and there was just too much RNG manipulation going on. I was like, nah, I'm done with this. So siege levels like this are slightly different as well. So the entirety of my enemy is inside this fortress, and I need to like break down the doors to get to them. Now the unit that attacks the door can get pretty weakened, and it's pretty dangerous to use Leo Bay for this, because if Leo Bay gets defeated, it's game over. No, that's quite alright, no worries. Hopefully nothing too strenuous with work. But yeah, so Leo Bay could end up taking quite a bit of damage from this, but at the same time, I feel like it's probably a good idea to attack the north gate. Like if we're going to attack the far ones, and usually Liu Zhang's on the left hand side, I feel like having Liu Bei here to attack this is probably a good idea. Saying that, he's taking a lot of damage fast. I'm gonna have Liu Bei come. No, let's stop doing that then. Is he just attacking it again? Oh no, Yan Yan's just came out to fight me. Okay, that's perfect. Can we use Meteor Shower here? No, we cannot use Meteor Shower here. God, I love it when you can manipulate AI. Okay, good. So we've got Machao now. Where's my boy Machao? Have Machao climb the wall. Okay, first thing we need to do is get rid of Yan Yan's archers. No, they're not charging in for some reason. No, charge in. Okay, fine. Be that way. Okay, so I'll definitely keep an eye on Liu Bei in this fight. Maybe having him charge the North Gate was not the best idea. Oh god, he can't even use Rally. Good lord, Liu Bei. What can your unit even do right now? Nothing. But at least I got Yan Yan in, which means he can't use like any visibilities like Sniper. Well, he probably can't use that anyway. I wonder how they get the horses over and the hawk troops. Okay, so what's next after this? Next one after this is the route split. Which I think I know what I'm doing with that anyway. Okay, what's going on down here? Okay, Zhuge Liang's engaged there, but that's fine. Okay, interesting. Right, so Sun Li's mostly horses, but she does have one, and she fell quite a bit behind. I'm pretty sure. Oh, I was to quickly check. That was definitely Liu Zhang there, right? Yep. Perfect. Oh, good lord, Liu Bei is not doing well right now. Okay, so sending Liu Bei to attack North Gate, not a good idea. Okay, Guan Yu. Before Sun Li joins us, charge through as much of the enemy as you can. Okay, so Liu Bei wasn't doing great, but now with Ma Chao joining us, he should be fine.
The gate's open wide. I'm going in.
Kill them all.
Oh, that was fast and dark. Oh, why are her archers charging? I mean, I don't really know if it's a good idea to hit them while they're still down, but you know, it might as well, right? Because we're about to be joined by Zhuge Liang, and I don't think Zhang Fei is going to get much more action after this, to be honest. Oh, Li Li's fallen over. Right, okay. How are we doing up here? Okay, we're still getting like hit. Like Yan Yan's taking a lot of damage quickly, but
Now it's time.
Liu Bei's still not doing great. I can't believe Liu Bei's already in the red. Mate, this is like one fight. Get over yourself. I should probably... I don't know. Yan Yan's morale's dropping quickly.
Hey,
No, we should get Liu Bei out there. We'll wait for the enemy to rejoin. Oh. Naturally, right? Because as soon as I look away briefly, that's when something happens. Oh, it's Raid's his ability. Yeah, send the squad in. For some reason I thought it was volley was his ability.
ride with Ma Chao.
Okay, we'll just...
It? That's all you got? Forgive.
Okay, there's not much they can do. So your character's morale does recover. Oh. You know, as time passes. How's Liu Bei doing now?
My cavalry.
Okay, I was gonna have Liu Bei join in there, but my child's gonna head through the city to here. I'm just gonna have Liu Bei head back to the supply compound to heal. So Sun Li's at the other side, but all she has is charge, and she can't really do anything to them, so... I sort of feel like this level's ended up being slightly longer. There we go, Guan Yu. Is Liu Zhang gonna move? Liu Zhang is gonna move. Oh, hope we haven't blocked that.
Don't fall.
Okay, like... That's not what to do. Ah, damn menuing. Okay, Sun Li, can you enter the fight with Liu Zhang? No, which means I need Guan Yu to retreat to here. Okay, so we'll have Guan Yu pull back a little bit. Which I didn't realise he was going to charge forward as much as he did. Damn. Nope, nope. Damn it. Menuing. Okay, so two of them will fight Liu Zhang. Ma Chao's going to join them. Lily's almost recovered her ability. That'll be good. We may have to just finish off. I could have used his charge. Never mind. Oh, he's doing a rally. Damn it. Oh, I didn't play his voice clip for some reason. Weird. Okay, fine. Well, you can rally all you want.
I'm one of your nightmares.
So we'll just use a raid.
What's the matter? You're no fun.
I just think what I'm going to do. You wait there. So my plan here is, like, so that every enemy's morale drops when a gate is open. Now I'm not going to have Liu Bei attack the gate, that's insane. But once they beat the enemy there, if Zhang Fei runs round
So that
and engages whoever's left over here, Oh, actually, hold up. Looks like Zhuge Liang's trying to move. Okay, never mind then. Okay, so I'll have Zhuge Liang do it once he comes in. If he engages the guy in the back and then Liu Bei attacks the gate will like swing wide open and Liu Zhang will take like a morale hit. I mean, he's already going to take like a massive hit because he's surrounded by 3 people now. There's not much that any of them can really do, so we'll just leave them to their own devices. That's no floating, that is a man in a dress, cheesy, and he is a sorcerer who just flies around wherever he pleases because of magic. He also, I mean, okay, yes, he does wear a lot of makeup as well, so I'll give you that. He means very fabulous. Look at that. Look at the way like he's just whoosh behind him as he flies. But welcome along, welcome along. If you're unaware of Kessen 2, it is a semi-real-time strategy. Like, you have units, things like this happen, but you can obviously pause it because it's... Oh, sorry, excuse me. One player. The number there, so like, Zhuge Liang's the character I'm currently on. 7,951 is the amount of, like, units he has. So that's, like, basically your strength level. That depletes obviously the longer you go, so the less units you have, the stronger the unit is. So you know, over a long period of time, if the unit keeps battling, he will get weaker. The bar below us is our morale. Currently our morale is at 100 because we just won. Longer we battle, our morale drops, and morale reaches 0, that character loses. The way you win is to find the enemy commander and defeat him. The current enemy commander is on the left hand side of the map, and he has 3 of my guys attacking him from 3 different sides, so he's not going to last too much longer. Yeah, he's already flashing that. He's not going to last too much longer. But we're going to charge over here because there's going to be another guy. This is early PlayStation 2. Oh, I won anyway, never mind. I was going to try like a thing to try and speed it up, but I didn't need to speed it up because I won. Okay, so the next thing I'm unsure of is we have a route split coming up, and I'm not sure which one's fastest, but I have a feeling that I know, so... So this one, like, I did incredibly fast by accident. Oh crap, I didn't pay attention. Was it request attack? That's the one I want. Oh, it's great because that whole cutscene's like a whole dance sequence as well. And then I want to lay traps. This is also like the only battle that takes place at night time.
Oh, whoa, look at that! What's this? Now our lord expects us to fight with beasts?
So apparently you can set these traps, but no enemy actually comes this way. So we're just going to attack this way. And then I'm just going to scroll down in my notes so that we're ready for the next chapter. So this one can end up being accidentally very fast because the enemy commander can come straight in. So but yeah, so like I did like a little bit of reading, but there's no like proper guides for speedrunning this game. I guess I could probably rate one. This is still my first speedrun of this game, but you know, I've played this game a lot. We're not seeing any enemies, which is worrying me. I think as well, we're gonna... Liu Bei, you should follow Zhuge Liang just to be on the safe side. Well, there is, like, it's obviously like the same characters because it's based off the same base lore. It's why I love like Dynasty Warriors Empires. Oh lord, this is not what I intended at all. This is not how this map plays out in Expert. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so maybe this one on beginner isn't the fastest. I don't know. I still feel like the other ones are a bit more dragged out. Because the other two options I had were like a level where you have to run through swamps and like another castle siege. Okay, first of all, let's get his. What's he doing? The big weirdo? Was he just standing there? Oh my god, this is such a mess of a fight. What have I done? Oh no! Okay, Huangzhong, master of the bow of giant strength. It's up to you. Okay, you remember in this one, don't charge the enemy. Let them come to the mines. Because they actually do it on beginner. Expert, they don't go for the mines. They're smart enough to be like, no, those are clearly mines. Okay, Zhang He got split up, so he's yeah, okay. Are all his archers charging in, or are all his archers are charging in? Right, okay. Perfect. The guide lied to me. The guide said to me that they don't go for the mines on beginner, so just have Zhuge Liang charge the enemy supply depot and you win. Mate, check your game FAQs. Right, I just sit in a blaze. Okay, Sun Li. Show them what you're made of, girl. Show them why you're best girl.
This is how it's done.
They're like, we're an army. Oh no, wait, giant fireballs. Oh, I forgot to skip her. Ah, never mind. What is this even? Speedrun? What is this? Okay, what about you, Zhang Fei? What can you do? You can raid someone.
I'm on your night.
Right, they should have brought like heat resistant clothing.
What's the matter? You're no fun.
Maybe some fire extinguishers. Like maybe if they just had like a mage that could make a giant fire extinguisher. Maybe they'd been okay. Okay, well, first of all, I don't like the fact that you have crossbows. Get out of here. Okay, Zhuge Liang seems evenly matched these ones. Well, are you really a mage if you don't have a funky hat? Annoyingly, a lot of these guys are all split up, so these spells aren't going to be as effective. Okay, what about Liu Bei? Can he speed this up at all? Actually, yeah. Like, all I need to do is once I beat Zhang He, I can have Liu Bei charge the supply depot, and that should be enough to win. I'm amazed by like how much progress I've made in this game by going fast. Look, Shanghai, just give up. We have 8 times the amount of people that you have. It's like a bolter machine gun. Right, the spells in this are just so over the top. Okay, no, Zhang Fei, please don't die. I was thinking there's like a weird subplot in this level. Because Zhang Fei normally fights with his daughters, but they're like, look father, the enemy supply depot, we'll charge it. And then they all get like kidnapped. And they're just like, oh, well that was lame. How's Huang Zhong doing? He is after all the master of the bow of giant strength. He's like an even fight version you, I guess, so. How's it even fair? Like, I have 8,700 troops, he has 805. Like, at this point he should just be like, you know what, life is over. So which Zhuge Liang is better? The one who blasts souls with magic or the one who blasts souls with microaggressions by setting them women's clothing? I mean... On one hand, giant fireballs are great, but on the other hand, petty insults based on misogyny? I raise you a third option. What about the apparently historically accurate ruse where they told everyone that Zhuge Liang was dead, so the enemy charged, but then found Zhuge Liang sitting on a giant throne waiting for them, so they all panicked and fled, but it turns out he actually had died and that was just his dead body. They just propped up like a scarecrow, and then we're like, this will be the perfect final ruse. That's a pretty good Zhuge Liang right there. Okay, now all we need is Liu Bei to charge, and once he reaches the supply depot, that will cut everyone's morale in half. My enemy's morale, not mine. My morale will be like perfect. I find this map fascinating. This goes back, this is something I bring up a lot in video games, right? Is all this extra area that exists in maps. Like, there's all this area, like, up and to the left of here that would never get used, right? Like, there's no reason for that area to be there. So why is it there? No Junyu, no magic for you. So one of the good things as well about staying on a character like this rather than the enemy is, had I been on Huangzhong and Junyu had used that, I would have to have watched the entire animation, whereas because I wasn't on them, instead of being an animation, it's just a dialogue prompt, which is considerably faster. So this level has ended up being a lot longer than I intended it to be. Because I'm almost at the 2-hour mark. I guess like the levels are getting quite a bit longer as I progress through the game, which makes sense, I guess, right? Okay, we'll swap to Sun Li then. Let's have her not die, please. I feel like if I hadn't split the enemy's forces in half, Sun Li would not have been able to fight him. Like, she needs to get good. There we go. So let's just set fire to everything. And we'll burn up all their food. There you go. So that pretty much just cuts all their morale in half. Okay, well at least Sun Li is gonna hopefully be able to beat Sima Yi as well. Gets experience from 2 fights. That's what you want. I just love that Liu Bei went from like... Oh, we won.
The enemy general has been
Yeah, he went from the last fight from being absolutely terrible to this level just absolutely owning everyone.
Lily.
I will dab in a minute. There you go. And you know what? For that great victory, an extra winning dab. Okay, let's see. Tian Shui, what I want to do, I want to train and then horse wings. Which just makes me think of chicken wings for some reason. Oh, I quickly read there that Zhang Fei had learned an ability. Which one is chicken wings? The first one apparently. Yep, position horseman and wings. And I just know from being amazing that the enemy supply depot is there. Now, this one gets a bit tough because Guan Yu is going to head out to Zhang Liao, and then Zhang Liao is going to fire Tiger Cannon. Right? Why isn't he firing Tiger Cannon? Where's Tiger Cannon? I feel betrayed. There was no Tiger Cannon. Oh lord, everyone's just crashed into each other. So if we end up... Get so many points, but I don't want you to end up always blind. Well, that's fair. Baked Beans decided to, like, use the blindfold, and I was like, don't you dare. And he's like, just kidding. It's like, how dare you. I need to think of new rewards. If you can think of any good rewards, please let me know. I'm always up for extra rewards. I feel like blindfold during Pokemon Snap was quite good. Oh well, you're Sima Yi. It potentially could very well ruin the speedrun, yes. Okay, Zhuge just getting a good lay of the land.
I begged you.
Yeah, the fact that like someone did it and during 999, like why? But then they did apologize afterwards. Hello, Tristan. How's it going? How are you? Hope things are well. Yeah. I hope things are going well. And welcome to my Kessen 2 speedrun. Kessen 2 is probably, yeah, I would say this is my favourite game of all time. My day's not been too bad. It was quite lazy. I say quite lazy. I did also a lot of cleaning. Um, like I got like the laundry done. I did the vacuuming. I put in my cat's eardrops. So like, from that perspective, I was quite busy. That's what I say to archers. Like, you think you're gonna shoot me with arrows? No, get lost. Oh, Mei San Yang. I don't know if it has an official speedrun, but I am speedrunning it, so... Okay, Mei San Yang just got hurt there, so let's jump back to her. Wait, someone's surrounding... No, don't duel. No, Mei San Yang. No, that's not what we want. We want... to have a meteor shower. No, I mean, you can speedrun anything. I'm like this close to attempting to speedrun Beyblade as well, purely because like I did it by accident. And I was like, oh, maybe we could do it, but the actual speedrun is 30 minutes faster than what I did, and I got 40 minutes. So, can I complete the game in 10 minutes? Maybe not. Machao, why are more enemies approaching? Huji, why is Huji approaching you? Okay, well, it's fine. Zhang Fei's fixed that problem. Okay, good Zhang Fei. Good boy. Xiao Yun, help out here. Zhang Fei. Normally I'd be like, oh yes, a second wave. But then I'm like, oh no, hold on. Speed up my animation, please. And while they're down... But yeah, no, I feel like my speedrun's being... Like, I don't know how much longer the next few levels are going to go, because like the speedrun time that I saw on speedrun.com was like 4 hours. I can't imagine once I beat this, the last 3 levels are going to be 2 hours on their own. Surely not.
I'll bring her hide with Macho.
I also always wonder, when you use raid and just go through all your own units, surely that can't be healthy for them. Wait, I misplaced where the enemy archers are. Oh wait, there they are. Wait, did Liu Bei just get into a fight? Oh, Liubi's in a fight with Cow. What's he doing in a fight with Karen? Mate, what are you doing? How dare you, DM Way? Oh, I did not see who that was. It's fine though. It's fine. We can. It doesn't matter too much. Okay, it was Battle Cry you learned. I was kind of hoping for like charge, but I'll take Battle Cry. Yeah, the quicker we take down at least one unit, the quicker this is gonna go. Because they're all like lined up, so when units like next to you go down, like you take a morale hit. So yeah, so that's why like I picked beginner, because I was like, I also noticed like the second story mode has no submitted runs, so I'll instantly just like beat that. So I mean, I am playing on an emulator, and I don't know if that's affected it and if that's sped anything up. So exactly, and if like no one else is playing it, I'll just be first forever. It's great. Like I can just get a crown and have it the rest of my life. I'll need to watch that speedrun and see like what it is that they do. Where's the enemy supply? The enemy supply depot should be around here. There we go. Well, you know what? A fierce rivalry could be quite fun actually. Who's best? We'll jump to Leo Bay then. And then what we need to do here is get rid of his archers. Like, say no to arrows. There we go. I don't know why that forces them into battle, but it forces them into battle, so. Can you guys do anything? Because you're very evenly matched. No, okay. Let's just stick to Sun Li then. So I can see like another enemy's going around to target Zhao Yun by the looks of it. And there we go. Oh, change objectives. Go straight for the enemy boss. You know, we've not had a duel in a while. Let's get a duel going.
If you're man enough to handle it, I'll give you the honor of a duel with me. What do you say?
Thanks. It's high time for some fighting. I'm almost asleep.
I'm doing pretty well. So I'm almost finished this level, and I'm at 2 hours 10, and then after that, there's only 3 levels left. So the run's going really well, actually. Some of the levels that I thought were going to be quick weren't as quick, and some of the ones that I thought were going to be long were not as long. So this is a speedy speedrun. I can definitely shave some time off though. Like I've made like a couple of like input errors, and like there's some levels I can definitely speed up.
Now he has tasted the might and power of Zhong Fei.
Like, I probably could have just not dueled there, that'd have been fine. Like, I feel like duel probably isn't. Oh, thank you very much for popping by though. Okay, Xiao Yun, you can wrap this fight up. Okay, let's just.
Take a lot more than that to stop Xiao Yu.
We'll send your archers in. How's Mei Sang Yang doing down here? Not as good as she could be. Ahoy hoy, cool mage. How's it going? It's actually quite spooky because I went into someone's stream last night and that's how I introduced myself. Was I went straight in with ahoy hoy. Post work Dark Soul. Is post work Dark Souls a good way to relax? Like, oh, I've just finished work. Now I'm gonna like play Dark Souls and cry. So speedrunning this game has been interesting. It's kind of sad because I love the melodramatic cutscenes. But it's been interesting. I haven't learned anything too weird that I didn't already know. Like, I play this game at least like once a year. But I don't play it like on beginner too much. Let's just move straight up. Is that the day? Oh, fair enough. Yeah, so I don't play it on beginner much. So like, there's aspects of the beginning mode that I don't remember all that well. But yeah, now this level, the enemies are just gonna drop. So speedruns.com has it at 4 hours something. 4 hours 20, something like that. See, I couldn't really get into the original Kessen too much. I've played it, I've completed both routes in it, but I don't know, I just couldn't get into it as much as this one. But I also played this one first. Like, we got this game and then we got Kessen 1 because of this game. That's not how I wanted at all. I wanted... Oh. Oh, they've already drawn their swords. Damn it, Lolo. Girl, get your life in together. Yeah, I feel like Tekken 2 was the first one that we played as well. Okay, Leo Bait, you can wreck this guy, surely. No, he's got a bunch of iron walls. I can't wreck him. Quick, Huang Zhong, master of the bow of giant strength. But yeah, no, no, I don't mind. Maybe there's just aspects to the first Kessen that I just didn't quite get. It would be interesting to go back to it. I played it like on YouTube, but maybe having like playing it on Sorry, excuse me. I'm so gassy today, I don't know why. Maybe playing it on stream and having people who know more about the game explain it to me might be good. Hi Boycon. It's going well. I'm making good time on this speedrun. I've never tried speedrunning the game before. So, this is also my first, like, ever speedrun. So, the fact that I'm making good time is just, like, a net positive, really. And just shows that I'm just incredibly multi-talented. But no, I'm doing quite well. Having a decent day so far. It's been quite lazy. Finally, Zhou Kang has learned an ability. About flipping time. Okay, so Eugen's been defeated now. That's good. I can't see Cao Cao lasting too much longer. I probably even have to use special ability. Special abilities probably just slow me down, to be honest. And then yep, so now I think Jian Wei should enter a battle of Cao Cao, and Liu Bei is about to enter a battle of Cao Cao, so we've won this. I maybe could speed this up a little bit somehow, but I'm not quite sure how I would speed this up any more than what I've done.
Now count.
I think the biggest problem with this one was when we went to move Sun Li up to get the supply depot. One, I didn't remember how far up it was, and two, like it kind of mushed everyone up a little bit. Like everyone got a bit squished and people started spinning around a bit. But then so did the enemy. So, you know, there's that as well. Okay, well, this guy now has 4 people on him, so I can't see him lasting too much longer. I don't have like too many go quick strategies. So I've played this game to death. So while I've not played it on beginner in a while, I know all the maps. There's probably a few strategies where I could go a little bit faster, but I know roughly what all my enemies' movements are, and what they're gonna do. So that's not too bad. I also have like outside of battle, you have like a policy option at the start of every chapter. That basically is like, oh, will you train your troops or do this, or and you can pick one. So I've got all them per chapter in front of me, so I can just skip the cutscene, move straight over to the one that I want, and pick it. And then when you go into each battle, they'll ask you, oh, what formation do you want? And I have all those options in front of me as well. And like I have all the options, and then I've put like an asterisk next to the one that I'm going to pick, but you know, just in case maybe last minute I'm like, no, I want the other one. But then I also know I can go, right, 1, 2, 3, boom, that's the one I want. So I can option through that quickly. That saves some time. Like I know the next... So the next problem as well is the next one gives me an option of 3 levels, and I don't know which level's going to be the fastest. I'm going to pick... excuse me. The Northern campaign. Because that gives me 2 new units. One of them, Kai Wenge, is a powerful sorceress and waifu number 3. And you know me, I love my waifus. but also like the other ones are like a siege map, which you have to like break down a castle, and that takes time. And the other one's some weird, like, fighting through a fortress. So, and it's like a race through like a jungle and stuff. So I'm just gonna go. Oh, for this one. So this is a battle in the desert, which can be, this one can be quite clunky, but I think on beginner it shouldn't be too bad. Okay, so I want to go for buy supplies.
Good.
And then I want to go for the option where I recruit Madai, because that gets me an extra unit in battle, which means I can surround people. Basically, just the more units you have, the better, because then you can just surround your enemy and win. Okay, let's change up our formation, because I know Kai Wengi all comes from over here. Actually, Sun Li, if you want to just head down to this bit, and Liu Bei can move out. So I lose if Liu Bei gets defeated, but as long as he just doesn't go down, then I'm fine. Swap to Ma Chao. So up here we have Madai and Deng Yi. Deng Yi. So we've turned Madai into our unit. Deng Yi's over here. So we're just gonna smack him in the back. We're like, no Deng Yi. And then Ma Chao is just gonna come join Madai, and the two of them are just gonna focus on this guy. And then once they're done up there, they can just swing around the other side and deal with the rest of the enemies that come over here. Yeah, so this is a weird one. So every enemy is Kai Wengi, and we have to find the real Kai Wengi. I can't remember which one's the real Kai Wengi. Okay, no, that's fine. That'll work out. But yeah, so I mean, already we're going to have one Kai Wengi who's going to have two people on her. Which would be good. So obviously the more units you have attacking the enemy, I'm going to turn the light on. It's very wet here, and it's made it very dark very quickly. Yeah, so the more enemies you have attacking a single unit, obviously the better it is. So, and then once we beat Deng Yi, like Madai and Ma Chao can just swoop around, deal with the other Kai Wengis as well. So this is probably the fastest map, because it doesn't involve me having to deal with any fortresses or anything like that. Oh lord, Zhuge Liang, you're already off to a bad start. Damn it, this Kai Wengi has an iron wall, which means she'll protect herself against our spells. So iron wall is an ability that you can use that nullifies a single spell. Zhuge Liang, get into fight. Good lord, Zhuge Liang. She has, however, chosen not to use it, which is good. This Kowingate also has an iron shield. Okay, well, you know what, Zhao Yun, you just do you. We're gonna check on Mad Eye, because he took some hits there. I accidentally sent the squad into battle, but fine. I feel this is the wrong way round, but okay. I love this game. Like, I play this game at least once a year, and I never get tired of it. Like, I would complete this game and then just play it again. And I don't know what it is about it that I come back to all the time. I adore it. And it's a shame, because I'm speedrunning it, you guys don't get, like, the full appreciation. And the memes that came from this between me and my brothers, where we would just quote this game at each other. Like, when I texted my brother and said I was speedrunning this, he sent me a quote from the game instantly, and it was like our favourite one about the surprise attack from the hot troops will also demoralise our foes. And that is how the line is said as well. It's said that fast. But this is just a glorious game. And I didn't, like, I've played through this on my YouTube channel before, like on Expert. And like I said before, like, yes, I was, like, viewing all the cutscenes and all the dialogue, but, like, every episode was, like, about 40 minutes to an hour. And now I'm, like, close to the end of the game in 2 hours, 29 minutes. I didn't think I could ever play this game as fast as this. But now that I know I can, like, why not just play this, like, all the time? I don't think anyone else can really do much. Zhuge maybe. No, her iron will just make it pointless. There's no point using spells. Mad Eye though. I'm sorry, what? What was that? What was that again, Mad Eye? So the only problems I'll have coming up for the rest of this run is the next level is one where you have to, you only start with 2 of your units and you have to wait for the rest of them to come in. That's going to involve a lot of retreating. And then the final level's not too bad. Okay, so I think at this point now it's just a waiting game. I guess this is time for me to be able to check my phone. I have a ridiculous amount of notifications. What's happened here? Right. Yeah, so I mean at this point there's not much I can really do. I can maybe have Sun Li charge, but like the enemy was a bit all over the place, so we're really just waiting for Deng Yi to go down. He's in the red now. So once he goes down, the Maz can run to the side and then help just sweep down the rest of the enemy. Yeah, this was definitely the best choice I think for speed. I mean, at some point I will do other speedruns of this, and I'll do like the other options, and I'll compare them to like what I did with these ones and see if maybe they are faster. No, so Mad Eye is just gonna run over to here. Oh, here we go, Machao. Machao's gonna come over here. He'll join Zhao Yun and fight. I can't remember if every Kaiwengi is a fake and then the real one appears, or if there's like a real Kaiwengi. I feel like, in my heart of hearts, I feel like everyone is fake. I mean, everyone is a faker, right? I feel like every Kaiwengi is fake, and then the real one will pop up somewhere. Especially while like our supply depot was like unattended, was a fake. At some point, there's part of me that's like, I really wish I could take a break to get a drink, but I'll live, guys. I'll live.
Fire!
Yeah, I mean, like at this point, these two are completely surrounded. There's not much they can really do now. So the only way to potentially maybe beat this faster would be just to leave Machao fight, because Madai can't fight Dingy on his own. He wouldn't win. Machao might be able to win, and then have Madai just fight the Kaiwengis. That might speed up the fight with the Kaiwengis. Ah, see, you know, there's a real one. See, I knew there was like another one that would appear somewhere that would be real. In which case, you don't want to leave Machao up there, because if Machao hasn't defeated Dingy by the time Kaiwengi appears, Kaiwengi would attack Machao, and Machao would go down. Okay. Oh, that sounds exciting.
It's a battle.
I like this at this possible points redemption. I've been on like a few big channels and they like literally have nothing. They're like, who cares about points? And I'm like, you're missing out, sunshine. You can soonly fit it through there.
Justice. The Kaiwangi we can.
Yes, we know she's a fake. Actually, you know what? Just you just wait there. You're not doing anything yet anymore. And Machao, you run back this way. My dad can just stay there, I guess. I mean, the last two levels took me up to like what? So that took me up to 220. This is taking me up to over 240. Maybe it will be like up to 4 hours. For like nobody's business. Right, let's see. We're gonna have Lily just. Oh, she just gave up. She's like, done with this, guys. I feel like if I maybe gotten my characters into formation a little bit better for the real Kaiwengi, we could have sped this up a little bit. I've been saying that, I feel like we're still going quite fast. Like, it's such a weird strategy for this level's part, right? When it's like, oh, there's a bunch of fake ones, but then the real one appears. But she appears when, like, almost everyone's defeated. So, like, we just surround her, and then she's like, oh, snap, I didn't think this through. Because, like, now she's surrounded by 4 people. Like, she's just gonna plummet. Well, easy peasy. Okay, so the next battle is the awkward one. So the next battle is the boat one. What are my things there? Research, train, or kill a tiger. I don't want to kill tigers because I feel like killing tigers is just rude to tigers. Like, what did they ever do? Deserve being murdered by us. Like, this is just the petty squabbles of man. Tigers need to get involved in that.
The enemy.
Okay, so research train. We're going to train is what we're going to do. Okay, so the oh, you can't change formations one more. Okay, so yeah, the problem with this level is these guys are strong, and there's a lot of them. Actually, no. But we're still gonna fight, just not there. We're gonna retreat into the corner, so that will force them to be only able to really fight us like one-on-one. The rest of them won't be able to really reach us. The problem with Sun Quan's forces are basically water types, so they're much faster on boats than we are. I'm just gonna give a wee battle cry here.
You're a fool if you choose to mess with me.
So Guan Yu's just gonna have to keep, because if we keep Guan Yu down there, Guan Yu goes down like instantly, because he just gets completely surrounded. Everyone drowns. It's not great. So we just need Guan Yu. We need you to run away. So the main goal of this level is, over time, more of our units come in. So we get like a constant like reinforcements. So we just need to keep running away until these reinforcements arrive, and then suddenly we outnumber the enemy and we just overwhelm them. Why did you stop? Didn't stop. Keep running. And I think oh no, I was kind of hoping the enemy just crashed into each other. Well, they're not doing the best job of like coordinating with each other. That's fine, as long as yeah, no, they've just like smashed into the back of each other. Oh no, see, look, I could have moved Liu Bei down there to block that, but in a surprise, Taisi Chi would just appeared here. He got us in the back. Would not have been great. Not a pretty sight.
Sharp, red hair. Trample anyone in our way.
But like while Illusion like engages with us, we'll take that opportunity to do damage to him each time.
Behold the strength of Guan Yu. Brother,
See, because now we have Zhang Fei, so now we have 3 units. So, this is going pretty well, I think. Like, we should keep luring the enemy up this way. How many of them is there here? There's like 3 of them here. A 4th one there. So we're still like at a numbers disadvantage. But, and see, there's more coming that way as well. See, I almost moved over that way, but there was like an instinct in me. It was like, don't do that, Liam. Don't do that. I'm pretty sure this level I do lose if Guan Yu goes down.
Retreat!
Which is ironic because in actual history that supposedly this is based on, Guan Yu's meant to die here. But, you know, who let history get in the way of a good story? And we'll make our stand here. Oh, I think we're technically surrounded in here, but that's fine.
I'm the one in your nightmare. Come on, what's the matter?
You're no fun. Yeah, I think technically we're being surrounded by Liu Jun. But Liu Bei can now surround Gan Ning. And we can engage Liu Jun with Guan Yu. So we'll be fine. And now Sun Li's joined us. Perfect timing. See, and now we're ready to begin our counterattack. See, the enemy also gets reinforcements, so we need to beat Sun Quan, but Sun Quan isn't actually here yet, so...
And now,
Okay, so I don't think there's anything else Guan Yu can really do now. So we'll jump back to Zhang Fei, see what he's got going for him. Lily can't use Rush. Lulu's got Rally. Okay, Sun Li's entered battle with Taishi C. So Sun Li, what's she got going for her? She's got dual and charge. You can't use charge while on a boat. So we'll just have Liu Bei focus on Gan Ning. Yeah. Gan Ning is surrounded. So he's going down pretty fast. And then, yeah, so once Gan Ning falls, like the rest of them will just topple. Ah, now we have a slight problem. Lu Meng. It doesn't really matter where I go, right? I'll just go here.
Or I'll end your miserable life.
So Lu Meng's moving up to Sun Li, so she's going to get surrounded now as well. Which is not great for her. So we'll want someone to try and fix that problem. Liu Bei's free, so I guess Liu Bei can move around in it.
take a lot more than that to stop Xiao Yu.
I'm sure Zhuge Liang should be here soon though.
You think well about my
But yes, now that we've defeated Kai Wengi, she's like, oh, you guys are strong, I'll join you. and she's like honestly just one of the best. Like it's annoying you only get her for like 2 levels, because she's great.
Take that!
It's a shame that Star Charlie had to go to work, because we were chatting earlier about how great this game is from like a feminist standpoint. Because it's got so many like strong women. Like it doesn't shy away from that at all. And even like the women that are like held captive are still like strong. And like I feel like Kai Wenge is like because she's like a queen that like you defeat her and then she's like, damn, you defeated me. But you know I'm still gonna fight. So, and she is legitimately like one of the best units. Okay, so Sun Li's in trouble now. And like none of her abilities really like she's terrible, right? Because Sun Li's meant to be from the same, like she's Sun Quan's younger sister, and none of her abilities can be used on bows. Like she's got like nothing going for her right now.
So there.
Okay, Zhugelong's up here. I thought he might have been like lower down and could have helped Sun Li out, but I'll take it. Actually, Jude's probably better. Let's have Sun Li retreat. Liu Bei can fight Tai Shi Si. So who have we still got to come to our rescue? Ma Chao's like another general. Mei Sang Yang and Ma Chao, that's who we're waiting on. Not that we really need them. Okay, Sun Li can deal with Liu Ming now. So this is turning into a bit of a long fight, but only from the perspective of the fact that you do kind of beat everyone. Okay, I feel like Jun Yu comes up this way, but we'll move like that then. Okay, yeah, here we go. Who's that? No, yeah, Zhou Yu, that's what I meant. Okay, I think if we go quick, we might be able to. I don't know. Sun Quan's not anywhere nearby. I was going to say maybe we could get under 3 hours for this, but... Two levels in 2 minutes. Let's do it, Gat. We can do it. Easy peasy. Actually, let's... Oh, didn't do that. Let's just move you straight down. Okay, I don't know which direction Sun Quan's gonna go from, so we'll just like charge straight down. You just wait there. Okay, I feel like Sun Li's gonna be okay, but I kind of wish that she was just better. Like, I even like have fed her kills, and she's just not really done much. Like, overall, she doesn't come across as like a great unit. Oh, don't worry, Boycon, I will. Let's just stab them in the back, like that. I mean, it's perfect for stabbing in the back, right? Because it's Sun Li, she betrayed them all. Okay, so Sun Li will follow Zhang Fei. Guan Yu is gonna head this way. No worries, Boycon. Zhuge Liang stays there, and Guan Yu follows him. No, Liu Bei follows Guan Yu. Okay, now we need to find the enemy commander and beat him. This level I could probably speed up a bit. I could probably start having my characters move. Once we start winning, like I could have them move towards Sun Quan quicker. So I can save time here. And once I know which direction Sun Quan moves in, I have a feeling he's going to come up the way. Right, too little too late, guys. Yeah, there he's there. Actually, no, that's fine. Liu Bei's got that covered. Okay, so we're gonna send Liu Bei to there, and then Zhang Fei, we're gonna change it slightly. We're gonna put Zhang Fei to there. Okay, well, this one's not been too bad. Like I said, a few time saving things that we could do here. Shit, I really like it's just so impressive, right? It's a good voice. Like, you could easily have a job in theatre. They were just amazed by his level of projection and acting that they just fell to their feet. Like, it happens to the best of us sometimes. Oh, well. Okay, so Leo Base should now be surrounding him, right? And he should be being all confused. Or is Leo Base not close enough? Oh, he might not be close enough. Let's... There, I win.
Fire away!
So yeah, he should just plummet now. Okay, well, this was one of the levels I thought was going to be problematic, and this was not problematic at all. I could use Raid here, but there's no point.
The enemy general is...
Okay. So the first thing I want to do is get some more supplies.
What you... Good.
I know, right? Like, potentially I not actually beat, like, the other guy's time. Like, depends how long... This is the final level, so, I mean, it is, like... You'd expect it to be long, right? It's the final level. Okay, so Juliong Machao going that way. And... Now, Zhao Yun is infantry, so he doesn't run as fast as, say, Mei Sang Yang or Sun Li. But I have a feeling there's going to be, like, a few enemies over on that side that'll probably stop them. It's so weird that Pang Tong gets, like, his own unit at this point. As if he's, like, anyone. Actually, Misa Yang might be able to make it up there. Okay, this has just turned into a mess down here. Okay, I don't know. Who is Leo based on the in battle with? Xiaoba. Fair enough. No, you wait just now. I know. No, you wait as well. Actually, no. Everyone, stop trying to like engage with random people. It's just rude. Yeah. But at least we know, right, Cao Cao has come down, so I don't think he's up at the supply base. I didn't do a lot of damage. But hopefully some confusion. Not a lot of confusion either. Right. Zhao Yun, you're gonna... lag-inducing fireballs. They are the best. Mei Sang Yang, you're gonna break away and head straight up. This is the last mission, Misto, yeah. If you play it on hard difficulty, there's like a bonus level after this, but this is the final conflict on beginner mode, and then the credits play after this, so... So the question is, can I do this in half an hour? Well, we'll see. This is the final level, so it is meant to be long. And my formation is kind of bust. Oh, good lord. He did not stand a chance. Okay, Zhao Yun time. Oh. So yeah, the gimmick with this level as well though is that as well as, you know, all the fighting going on, Himiko the sorceress is trying to use a world-ending spell, so we need to stop her, by sending our wizard to basically cancel out her spell, which sacrifices two of our units from like the main fight, annoyingly. Thank you everyone, I need the power of these cheers. But we can do this. Like, first of all, we just need to get rid of you. Let's see, because there's like more enemies popping up here now. There's Jin Yu. Okay, let's jump to Sun Li. So I think the main thing to do this speedy. Oh, actually, let's get rid of your archers as well. Is once Mei San Yang destroys the supply depot, she should move down to attack Cao Cao, the commander. And then it should have everyone just, as soon as someone wins a fight, they should just move straight for Cao Cao. The quicker we beat him, the quicker we win. So the supply depot should be in these woods here. Oh, I believe I see it. I do see it. Yep, so okay, Pang Tong is now engaged Cao Ren. Pang Tong cannot do anything. Okay, Huang Zhong's on the losing side here. But he does have Kai Wengi, oh my lord. Why didn't anyone tell me? Okay, first of all, Gua Shao, get out here.
You think well about my
And we'll just slice through all these guys. This should do a good chunk of damage.
Take that!
There we go. Enemy supply depot destroyed. Everyone's abilities are halved.
Show me what you're made of. Show
Oh, I keep forgetting to skip in.
you're a fool if you choose to mess with me.
There we go. That should be the last push that needs. Don't charge at Liu Bei, that's rude. Oh, I messed with that one. I think that was a Dong Zhongfeng. So Okay, we'll jump to Zhao Yun. Maybe he can do something. Not really. No, it's just rally he's got. No. Any spells will just get blocked, so... I'm just going to Mei Sang Yang then, I probably should have went to Zhang Fei actually. Actually, let's do that. Where's Zhang Fei? There we go. Oh! Blast it all, I didn't skip that again.
Now then.
This is a big sea of confusion right now. Oh, actually. Speaking of big sea of confusion, while they're all confused... Oh, Zhang Fei's voice clip seemed to have disappeared for some reason. Okay, that should have had a bit of a knock-on effect. No, well that's fine. We'll go straight for Kaka here. See my yeet? I mean, you know, I guess we just stabbed him in the back. What else is he gonna do with his life? I love that, like, it's Zhang Fei, Guan Yu, and Liu Bei doing everything. I love that. Because, I mean, they're the ones that everyone knows, right? I think he just requested, like, aid from someone, but... yeah. Actually, Liu Bei, you go for Xinyu. Because Xinyu's gonna try and come and do something. Perfect. So now that Liu Bei has managed to capture Xinyu, Well. Oh. Okay, it was like their last ditch. Like, oh, this is the one last thing we can do before we die. Okay. We have got this. If I were to do Cow Cow's one, his is a bit different because Leo Bay has a beginner option. Cow Cow doesn't have a beginner difficulty option, it's only ever normal. So his is a little bit harder. I'd be interested to see though, one, how much longer that is, and two, how much longer different difficulties add to the speedrun. And I'd be curious to how I can refine this. Cause I don't have any like clear, so there's like a couple of ones where like, okay, I could speed up a little bit here. But like this level for example, okay, yeah, I know straight off the bat I could have Mei Sang Yang charge straight up. And just head straight to the supply depot. Xiao Yun's not doing too well, is he? I wonder if on beginner, okay, so using the strategy and having Mei Sang Yang charge straight up, could I afford to have Ma Chao not go and fight Hugh Shi and just have Zhuge Liang do it? Because I probably have plenty of time. And I'd beat Cao Cao before the Himiko sequences. What does that do? It surprises me how long Cao Cao manages to like last. No, Zhulong's dead. So like obviously like Huji took a huge amount of damage from the removing the supply depot, and then yeah, on top of that Arbalist, and then even if I were to do that, I could have like I didn't use any of Zhuge Liang's spells, right? So I could easily just have him drop a fireball on Huji. That'd probably be enough, which means I could leave Ma Chao here, which potentially could speed up the Cao Cao fight. Because I could have Ma Chao move up to the side, Mei Sun Yang head straight up, right? Ma Chao helps Sun Li with her fight, and then the two of them just move straight over to Cao Cao. That might be faster. And that's something to try. Also, the other levels in the route split. I feel like I did pick the fastest ones, but I'll need to obviously try the other levels out and see if I can maybe do them any quicker. Right, exactly. Well, I'm not quite sure where to call time. Probably here. Right. Yeah. Yes, I believe this has moved me on to Cow Cow story mode. So yeah, no, that's it. Um, I'm not quite sure how that compares. Like obviously, like I use an emulator. I wasn't playing with uh a play like an actual PlayStation plugged in, but that is faster than the time that was submitted, I believe. I'm gonna check it up. Thank you very much, everyone. Um, yeah, like obviously I've recorded this and then I'll send them the VOD. Like I'll download the VOD as well. Um, let's see, Kessen 2. So the leaderboard has won 4 hours 26 minutes. Thank you, Cool Mage. And then I know there is. Yeah, so there's no like rules for it either. And I know there's another like submitted. I think the big problem is right is there's only like one mod for it. I'm pretty sure, and it's modded by the guy that currently has the best time. So he could easily just be like, no. Hopefully not. Hopefully he will be kind enough to know that I've managed to do it. Yeah, so the other submitted time, which was done in January 2020, was 3 hours 45 minutes. So I've shaved almost 20 minutes off that. So cheesy, thank you very much, and enjoy your Geodude, and Cool Mage, you enjoy your coffin. Yeah. Wow. I didn't think that I would do it first time. Like, I know I play this game a lot, but I didn't think I'd played it that much that I could do that. I think I can do faster at some point, and I'll definitely be coming back to it. Also, the fact that, like, probably speedrun.com, that's, like, the most official one. Is there any other ones? I'll submit to all of them. Right? I mean, what can I say? What can I say? No, this is like the first ever time I've attempted a speedrun. So speedrun.com is like the only one that I know of. So yeah. Normally I go to like 7. But I'm going to probably leave this here. Like sometimes I might like stop it to have like a separate VOD and I do something else. But no, I feel like we should leave off on the hype. I feel like that's pretty good. So yes, thankfully, as Nightbot has just posted, I have a new Discord. Why is it telling me internal server error? That's rude. Well, I can't invite myself, but yes, I have a Discord, so feel free to join. We can chat about lots of things on there. It's quite quiet now because I have just started it, and also like I'm just really awkward at using Discord. Like I'd not really used it much before this, so but feel free to bring the party there. I'm potentially going to be streaming again Friday. I'm working 9 till 3, so it depends how tired I am, but I might do a stream then. I've said I was going to do Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses, just like a casual play of that. I might do that, might do some Fire Emblem, I'm not sure. See how I feel on the day. And then once I get my schedule for next week, so I recently completed 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors. Next week I will be doing Virtue's Last Reward, the sequel to that. But I think for the most part the stories are self-contained, so thank you for the follow. I'm even going to, how do you pronounce it? It's SW3 Ishida. We'll just go with Ishida. So yeah, no, so I'll be doing Virtue's Last Reward. If anyone wants to get caught up on 9 hours, I do have the VODs and I'll be posting them on YouTube at some point. I need to hurry up with that. I still not posted X-Men Legends 2 on YouTube. I am looking forward to Virtue's Last Reward. So I just need to know what my schedule is. Annoyingly, work have told me that see, I nailed your name and I nailed the speedrun. Like, I am just on a roll today. Yeah, work have told me that the schedules are done, but they've just not posted them. And I'm like, no, post these schedules. I need to know. I have people that need to know. But yeah, no, that's been pretty good. So I think we'll leave off there. And I'm just seeing who is about. Since he has been a big fan of this stream, we are going to raid Frog and Ree. I didn't realise they streamed on a Wednesday. I thought it was only Monday, Friday, Saturday. But they're streaming now, apparently. Streaming Struggling. No idea what Struggling is. But they're doing it, apparently. So, thank you again for everyone who came along. Thank you, Cheesy and Mage, for the bits. Thank you, Ishida, for following. He is not starting today, Cheesy, because he got called into work. So his stream is moving to Friday night. I don't know what time on Friday. But he'll be streaming on Friday night, and I'm quite excited for that. So some people might have seen him in chat, Baked Beans. He used to be a boss of mine at my old work, and we've kept in touch. He is starting his first ever stream on Friday. Actually, let's do some shout outs. Let's do a shout out to him. If you want to give him a follow, he is doing the last playing no game. Yeah, so they've not started streaming yet. They are going to start playing Dino Crisis, which that is a nostalgia and a half right there. I don't actually remember a lot of Dino Crisis. I remember it existing. I remember the box, like the dinosaur foot. I remember that very vividly. Like, I can picture that right now. Right, like, so definitely give. I don't really know what if he's gonna go by his real name or not, but give Baked Beans a follow on there. And also, right, we're gonna do another shout out. This is gonna be like shout out hour here. We're doing a shout out for Cool Mage, who I think, did you complete? I was like lurking a little bit in the last time we were playing Undertale, because we were watching. We were watching a movie at the time, like, and so I just had that on the background while I was doing other stuff. But Cool Mage has been pretty great. So definitely check him out. I really enjoy his streams. I've always been afraid to ask why he wears a wrestling mask all the time. But I guess I'm asking it now. I don't know if he's still here. He might not be. But no, he is still here. But he does that. So definitely check him out. And we're going to do one more shout out before we raid. Love you, Cool Mage. We're going to shout out to Misto. Oh, you didn't complete it? Okay, well. Like, because I was like half lurking, and then like I looked down, and then suddenly we were in somebody else's channel. I was like, oh no, he's raided. Oh no. Misto, who's came along recently, I lurked for a little bit and caught a little bit of your Fire Emblem. So definitely, if you're enjoying Fire Emblem, check him out as well. Pacifist fun unlocks some. Oh, okay. I apologise. I did not realise that was your flesh. If you are in need of a moisturiser, let me know. And no, you're more than welcome, Misto. Again, like I don't think I had audio on for years, but like I saw like some of the Dread Isle stuff. Again, because we were watching TV at the time, and I was just doing some like work on my laptop. And I was like, I'll check out your channel, and then you were streaming, so I was like, oh, and then snap roast time. That's me. But I mean, there's part of me that's tempted to be like. Yeah, I think it was like roughly about like 11 p.m.-ish, like my time. But then like a lot of people that I know that do stream about then. And some problems, like there's Star Charlie who was here at the start. Like she's always streaming. Like I sometimes catch the tail end of her ones because like she's streaming late at night for her, which is like first thing in the morning for me. But alright, let's get slash raid going. We're gonna raid Frog and Ree, and give them some love. But this has been great. I really enjoyed this. But I am also very hungry right now. So, yeah, we will head off, and I will catch you guys probably on Friday, if not before then. Bye. I keep like looking at my stream to make sure like I've actually said bye. I don't know if like my stream is like just more delayed than everyone else's. That's what I always do. But I don't know if I'm just like standing here now and you guys are just seeing me just stare at my screen. Okay, well anyway.